What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of NOFOMO, where we dive deep into the world of trading, sharing real stories from real traders. I'm your host, Woodz, aka the Night Night Trader.
You have to go night night. You have to go night night. Everybody go night night.
And today, we've got a fresh perspective lined up for you. Our guest today is someone who is just starting to find her rhythm in the markets. She goes by the name of Chocolate Bear. And while she may be newer to the trading game, she's got a ton of insight to share. We'll be digging into her journey, the wins, the losses, and everything in between as she navigates this wild world of trading and chases that sweet, sweet consistency that we all crave. So, whether you're a seasoned trader or just getting started, this episode is packed with all kind of raw, honest perspective that you won't want to miss. Let's get into it. What is happening, traders? We are live on NOFOMO, and today we have a special guest, the trader Chocolate Bear. Chocolate Bear, what is happening with you?
What's going on? How is it going? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, for sure, man. Glad to have you. Glad to have you, man. So many wonderful conversations in the Discord community and everything, man. So tell me, I wanted to talk to you about your personal journey and your motivation as you're getting started in your journey with your trading. It's good to have someone that's new to the space on, because I love to hear your perspective as you're hitting the ground running, learning everything you're learning. So tell me, how did you first get into day trading, and what inspired you to pursue it seriously?
Okay, yeah. So I got involved into the stock market in general, probably around 2018, just with being an active participant in like building my retirement and learning about the SPY and things like that. So I was just getting like buy and hold ETFs. And 2019 rolled around. I started picking companies that I was interested in, just the basic stuff, not even day trading.
Okay.
And then, the pandemic came around, we were shut in. So I really started getting on YouTube, consuming all the content that was coming out at the time. And eventually I was going down the road of buying like the GMEs, the AMCs, all of that stuff. And
Mhm.
the road leads to one thing to another, of course, then now you have the options stuff getting presented to you and the talk about buying puts and calls and all that. So I would say about 2 or 3 years of that just kept coming at me. And then eventually I said, oh, you know what? I think I could try day trading, but it seems so risky. Everybody just kind of presents it to you as the most riskiest form in the space of investing.
Right.
And I really wanted to stay away from that. I wanted to play it safe. And eventually I realized that there, with the proper like training at least, that there is potential there for it to turn into more than just a little thing I do on the side here and there. And I really just wanted to make it like a career type of thing if I could. So
Right.
that's how I got into it. It always evolves. It starts out small, and then before you know it, you're just evolved into this like, okay, I'm in. I'm locked in.
Indeed. So
Yeah. Mhm.
so far,
Mhm.
what are some of the biggest challenges that you face early in your trading career?
Okay. Yeah, what I was saying was I think for me is I noticed kind of middle of the journey that I was just consuming everything, and not everything is quality. So
Mhm.
as a new trader, what you have access to is just social media, YouTube, and one of the biggest challenges is just getting that good instruction, good information that you could really use and apply. And of course, as you go deeper into day trading, of the obvious biggest challenge is emotions, the mental side.
Mhm.
But you can't get that from YouTube. Obviously, you can't get that from just watching videos about what's the next thing to pop, or
Mm.
chasing stocks. So that, I think that's the best, for me at least, one of the hardest things that I had to deal with.
It's
So,
filtering through those videos you
right,
find on
yeah.
YouTube to find those gems, you know?
Yeah, and finding just creators that you're like, okay, I think they're real. They're real. I know we talked about that before. There's so
Right,
many, there's just a free access. It's a wide open space. Anybody could do it. I
right,
could get I
right.
could get my son on 7-year-old to start putting out content. But finding the creators that are genuine and actually about this thing, not just trying to become, there's a
An
difference between
influencer.
creators and influencers versus actual day traders that just so happen to be creators and
Right.
influencers. A lot of people came online and just wanted to get a piece of what was evolving in that
Indeed.
2020 era. Yeah.
So can you describe a major turning point in your trading journey? Like when did
hmm
things started clicking for you?
I would definitely say uh, the click happened when I was into options. Actually, I was really an options trader first,
Okay.
and I hit it in stride. I got really lucky. I guess a lot of people do, and
Mhm.
the luck never went away. Everyone always says, "Oh, you start off lucky, and then you go down that road where you hit a losing streak and all that." And I never really got that losing streak. But what I was running into problem wise was I had a very bad case of trader's anxiety. So I would never stay in my trades long. I would always exit. And then as soon as I exit, I missed the
The
meat of
move.
the move. So I really wasn't, I had a high win rate, but no progress really because my winners were smaller than my losers. And as you know, with the risk to reward, it wasn't really mathing. But when I had the turning point, I would say is when I got a mentor to really like talk me through those things and help me accelerate to that next level. So the mentorship is what helped me really get it going.
Man,
Um,
I tell
mhm,
you, the mentorship is a very
mhm,
important part of the journey, man, because a lot of people be like, "Oh, you can do it by yourself. You can learn how to trade it by yourself," but you really need a mentor to help
mhm.
guide you through all the steps.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
like how now I know that you're a mother. So
Mhm.
tell me about how you balance your trade life with your personal life, especially on days with high market volatility.
Oh man, that's tough. It's definitely tough. I am a multitasker by nature, I guess mothers are and fathers,
Mhm. Indeed.
and it's just another thing to balance in the day. I do it in the morning, as we can see, we're both early birds, I could see. I get up early, look at these charts, see what levels are presenting themselves,
Mhm.
and I think a big part of the balance is creating a carved out space for trading and then a carved out space for this, then a carved out space for that. So just creating that schedule for the day and then with trading in general, the volatility of the market, man, like if you could just figure out a way to not let the market consume you because I have the tendency even now like I would sit on the chart all day if I could, especially
Right.
with it being on your phone and even the last couple days with the way the market's been, you just wanna watch and look
Right,
at the
right.
screen and stuff, so it all kinda ties back into, like, the discipline stuff, just telling myself, "Turn it off, you can come back to it later and look at it." So, as a mom, I guess that I just need to stay structured and disciplined so that I don't let it consume me because I love trading, I'll sit here all day and get
Mhm.
on the on these charts, but I
And
can't,
you
unfortunately.
right. And
Mhm.
you have to fall in love with it
Mhm.
to really understand it.
Mhm.
Let's
Of
touch on
course.
your trading strategies and practices. So
Mhm.
what are your primary trading strategies? Like how did you develop it?
Well, let's see. I think that with the way that I was struggling with my trader's anxiety, I don't know if that's a phrase, but that's what I call it, trader's anxiety.
It's
I
definitely a thing.
It is. Yeah. Okay. I tried a lot of different things. Like I wanted to do swing trading at one point when I was doing options, and I would try swing trading and I would freak out for the whole swing. Like, I couldn't even, like especially if it was, like, a overnight or anything, couple hours.
Right.
Like we were just saying, like, I would let it consume me for the period of time I was holding the trade. I couldn't even function and do anything else during the day or anything like that. So,
Mhm.
just with the way I developed as a trader, I eventually found out that I think I'm just a scalper, like, I just wanna get in and out.
Mhm.
And I became a scalper over time, especially once I got locked in with my mentor. That's his style of trading.
Mm.
And I was like, perfect. Like, this is exactly what I need. I don't want to hold trades for 2, 3 hours or overnight or anything like that. So I'm a scalper. I like to get in and out. I like to be done by the time lunchtime rolls around so that I could move on. And that all just kind of fit perfectly into what I was personality wise, what I needed in my lifestyle. And I think that's how every trader develops. It's like whatever fits their personality, whatever risk tolerance they have, all of that plays into your strategy and what eventually I think will work for you. So that was how I came to be a scalper. And I scalped the 2-minute chart using price action,
Mhm.
levels. I scalp to levels, support and resistance. Actually, just really basic stuff. Nothing too advanced because I'm still new. I know there's way more advanced scalping strategies, but I'm just a scalper, level to level, support resistance, that type of thing. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it's been working.
I mean, if it works for you, keeping it simple,
Hmm.
it works, you know?
Yeah.
It's it's all about keeping it simple, man. There's no wrong
Hmm.
way to trade.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So talk about how do you approach risk management in your trades? Do you have a specific systems for cutting losses?
Yeah. So I like to use certain EMAs on the chart as my risk. I don't like to risk more. We've spoken before. I'm a prop firm trader, so whatever my drawdown is, I don't like to risk more than like a percent, like even less than that
Mm,
of my portfolio, quote unquote. And my portfolio to me is my drawdown. That's how I've been taught. It's not the full balance. It's my drawdown. So it's tight. So if
mm,
I'm doing a prop firm challenge and I'm doing a 50K, excuse me, and it's end of day drawdown at 2,000 or 2,500, that's my portfolio size. I'm
mhm,
trading with 2,500, and I'm only risking, um, but a certain percentage of that. So it's tight, and it seems like it may not work because it's so tight. And it probably doesn't for a lot of people with their style of trading. I know a lot of people are going big in these discords. I'm
mhm.
going small. I'm walking away from the day with like $200, three, four. If I make 600, I'm very happy. And that's good for me because I feel like every day that adds to my drawdown, eventually giving me more to work with. So my risk profile is tight. I'm risk adverse. Um, I trade small. I trade micros. That's me.
Mm.
you know?
So can you walk us through your daily trading routine? What does a typical trading day look like for you?
Yeah. So let's see. I wake up early. I get up and look at the pre-market. I like to look at my levels from the previous day, pre-market highs and lows, previous day highs and lows. I do look at that 1 hour and 4 hour time frame to see what the market's doing. I also am not a equities hopper. I like to kind of stick to. I trade ES,
Mhm,
and I'm looking for something else to just kind of throw in the mix. But I stick to one thing just so I can really stay zoned into it and not all over the place. So I'm lucky enough to just have the one thing I go to, ES, and I know what it's done all week, what it's done last week, that type of thing. You become intimate, I guess, with it. That's
right.
that's my boyfriend, ES. So I'll get up, check, see what ES has been up to while I was asleep, and I kind of just go from there. I start the day with the market open, and I don't really touch anything until about 15 minutes after the bell rings. Really at 10 o'clock is when I'm like, okay, let's see what we got going on, especially with data and all the news that usually is popping around 10 o'clock. It's always, every day, it's like the same outline almost. The data is coming out around 10, sometimes 11, there's a speaker, and that's when it's really getting like that momentum, which is what I
Mhm.
need to scout. So that's my day-to-day routine, and if you just hit it in stride, like I said, by noon, you could really be done. Couple of scalps. If you're satisfied and you're not trying to overtrade or anything, that's really all you need. So,
That's very interesting being that
mhm.
in that you're fairly new to the space and you're trading ES because that is an aggressive that
Mhm.
moves very aggressively.
Uh-huh.
It how long did it take you to really catch on messing with ES?
Oh, wow. It definitely did. I would say a full year of
Mm,
MES, MES and then ES, and still very much so MES. I'm not afraid to just do MES, especially like the week we're coming out of election week. I was
mm,
really unsure what the price action would be like. So part of my risk management is deciding whether or not I want to do a mini or a couple micros.
mm.
Just that much in itself can save yourself. I feel like me at least could save me from a lot of heartache. So when it came to ES, I was always super intimidated with just trading ES in general because when I was an options trader, I was trading the SPY. So it was
Mm,
really similar in nature. I was okay with how it moved. It seemed familiar. But when I switched to futures, I was for some reason I think when you come over to the side to the future side,
mhm.
everybody pushes NQ.
Yeah.
And I immediately started trading NQ. That's what everybody in the future space seems to teach you with. And NQ was so wild that by the time I switched to ES, I was like, okay, this is much better for me. So I guess that was part of the reason why I was able to handle ES so much better. Is because it's much better to me than NQ is. So
Wow.
that's my
Did
story.
it take you a few weeks of just watching it, like not touching it, just
Mhm.
watching it for a few sessions for a week or 2?
Y yeah, definitely paper traded it. I am a serial paper trader,
Mhm,
and that is how I've saved myself from a lot of losses. It's helped me and hurt me at the same time, but I paper traded it for a while,
mhm.
and, that's pretty much, I would say, where I did a lot of learning. The learning space came from paper trading, and then
Right,
prop firm challenges, even though they cost money. They
right.
have been amazing learning tools because it gives me a chance to work through the anxieties that I had, anxieties that really challenged me when it came to day trading.
Mm,
But yeah, I watched it for a few days and then paper traded. And, because I am a little bit of a trading addict, it's usually just up on my screen, my computer screen. I come
mhm,
to my desk, I could kind of peek at it, see what it's doing,
mm.
and that's how I learn. Yep.
So, tell me, how do you decide when to enter and exit a trade, and what indicators or signals
Mhm.
do you rely on the most?
So I like to use the way I've been taught is we trade momentum. We
Mhm,
like a little volatility and volume. So I look for direction. The EMA crossover is usually my first indicator. We have our EMAs on our charts so we can see when that crossover happens and what direction things are starting to shift to. I look for that. That's usually like my first thing. I got that on my chart color coded with like a cloud, your typical stuff you would see on a super basic chart. And once that crossover happens, I've been using a candle takeout method, which is something that was taught to me by my mentor. So when let's say we're going long and a bearish candle is overtaken by a bullish candle, that
mhm.
would signify that those short sellers are trapped, or everyone who went short in that candle are trapped.
Okay.
So that is signified or indicated on my chart, and that candle is almost like a flag, like come on, come in here, come get us here. So I like to enter on those. To get those short sellers who are trapped when that candle is taken out. But if I'm not playing those candles, because that could get a lot of times at the beginning of the crossover, you can get in, hold for a few candles, and come out when the crossover on the other side happens, or to the next level, whatever level is a couple notches ticks above. And like I said, super super simple. I do use RSI and MACD. um, PSAR. I'm using that a lot. And as of recently, I am learning how to use the DOM. So there's that
Okay.
as well. I was
Nice.
super early into that journey. You've kind of, we talked on the side and you're like, hey, check
Cool.
this out. And I can already tell you that's going to probably take things to the next level. So I'm just in the baby stages of that. But
Nice.
as of right now, I'm just doing EMA crossovers and price action.
Nice, nice. Looking
Hmm.
for that engulfing candle.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So let's speak on the emotional and psychological aspect of trading, because this is something that was very important for me, and it took me a while to, because I understood the charts before I understood how important it was to manage your emotional and psychological aspect. So
Hmm.
what role does emotional control play in your trading, and how do you manage your stress and anxiety during those losing streaks?
Oh, well, I'm still I'm still learning how to do that, but
Mhm.
that is the challenging part of trading, I would say. That's
Indeed.
the real stuff. Once you get through, oh, what's the strategy and how am I going to trade? That part could take maybe a couple weeks,
Right.
and you get it down. So you knock that out, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready. But the hard part is this stuff, and that's the stuff that I feel like is taking me the longest.
Mhm.
We're all emotional about money, even simulated money.
Right.
And for me, I'm just learning how to become more robotic. Um, we talked about like algos and stuff, and I'm trying to learn how to. Someone said it to me in a Discord. They said you need to learn how to trade like a bot, like no emotions. It does what it does. It's programmed to do what it does, and it doesn't think, it doesn't cry, it doesn't do anything, but it does what it does. So obviously bots don't have emotions. So I'm trying to get to that point where I'm more robotic, and how I manage emotions right now is it's kind of funny. It's sad and funny, but I cry. I'm a woman, so sometimes, like especially hitting that losing streak, I've had my moments where I cry. I go just turn everything off. I let a couple tears out, and then you come back and you're good. And I
Yeah.
think maybe that's a woman's thing. I mean, you learn how to do that over the years. You just cry it out, get it over with, and come back ready to go.
It's
So
it's a
I do
trader
it,
thing. It's a
Yeah.
trader thing, because you're gonna
Mhm.
have some of those moments where you're extremely mad, you wanna throw
Yeah,
your screen, you
right.
you know? It's
Yeah.
a trader thing.
Yeah, I just sometimes you gotta do it. So, I've been managing my emotions through becoming more robotic, and if I have to, just let it out, come back to the screen, and then just realize that it's the cost of doing business. Things are never gonna be perfect. The losing is part of it. The winning is part of it. So I'm working on all of that. It's really just an ongoing thing that I have not mastered yet. But I think that's when you really become like in that level of mastery is when you really are like a master of your emotions. Then you are truly like a master trader.
Indeed.
Mhm.
I know, based on the answer to that, I know you've experienced significant losses before. So tell me,
Mhm.
how did you mentally recover and adjust? What is your approach on that?
Oh man, I think you have to really stay zeroed in on why you're trading in the first place.
Mm,
And that's been my biggest motivator because I am trading for financial freedom, for my family, my son. I want to make sure he has access to the things that obviously a wealthy life could provide, having a college education without student loans, all that stuff. So I think the trading has to be more than just trying to pass the prop firm challenge or trying to get a payout or anything like that. It has to be tied to um, a deep part of who you are and why you're even doing this in the first place
mm,
to help you get through those lows. Because why do there's people that hate their jobs, but they go every day and they have emotional breakdowns in the bathroom at work and all this and
right,
that,
right.
but they still show up and they still have to do what they do because they have things that need to be taken care of. So it's no different. I treat trading like a job. It's just a little part-time job right now, but
Right,
it's a
right.
job nonetheless. And the emotions that come with bad days and good days is still the same, all the same. So the significant losses I've experienced about to pass a challenge and then blow up or
Yep,
about to,
yep,
all of those things have definitely happened to me and it hurts. Or like I
right.
said, it sometimes brings you to get a little teary eyed and that's okay. I think that's just means that you're passionate and you really want to make this thing happen. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, tell me, how do you stay disciplined? Like in sticking to your trading plan, especially when the markets are unpredictable. Like how do you remain disciplined?
So I have a trading plan. I have that up on my wall right next to me. I have a little taped version of it on my desk, and
Mm,
I do follow it pretty strictly. It's just like my guidelines, my rules, my stop loss rules, everything that you could think of. It's my uh it is definitely the thing that if it's on this list, I need to do it. And it took me a while to really treat the trading plan the way it needed to be treated, because you
hmm
hear it talked about all the time in different videos, and all these traders are always saying, "Oh, you make sure you have a trading plan," but you don't really realize how it's supposed to be used. And this is, to me, like my laws. So if I break this law, I go to jail, or I go have to pay a fine or anything like that. If I don't follow this trading plan, I'm losing. I'm gonna have to take a loss. I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna get emotional. Like, do I want to have all that happen? No. So I need to follow this trading plan, or else. So the way that I've been staying disciplined lately is really just looking at this piece of paper. Sometimes I even have it on my chart. There's some indicators you can get, which allows you to type your trading plan and have it on your chart. Just little notes, nothing too detailed. So I've gotten in the habit of putting the key things right on the chart so I can look at it. And it's just little stuff like that that's been keeping me disciplined. And then having the mentor, like when you have someone, mentors and friends, even though we may not think Discord is that big of a deal, there are some people in Discord that hold me so accountable. They check in with me. My mentor checks in with me. So if I have a day where I definitely did not follow that trading plan, they're going to know about it. They're going to make me, I will feel bad having to tell them I didn't follow the trading plan. And the accountability goes such a long way, having friends that really care about how you're doing. So those are all
right,
the things.
right.
Yeah.
And like, let's talk about your learning and growth. What books, courses, or resources have had the best impact, like on your trading journey?
Um, let's see. I love books. I really do have a lot. Man, the ones that I really think helped was there's one called Tips or Tools and Tactics for the Master Day Trader. That is written by Oliver Velez. He's one of the people that my mentor learned to trade from. So,
He's
and
nice.
he's
He's
definitely,
primarily stocks.
oh yeah, yeah, he definitely sticks to stocks. Not, I don't even think he does futures, to be honest with
Mm,
you. Now that you
yeah.
mention it, but the info is just so good, and the stuff he says in his book, I think a lot of traders may not even realize this, but it's like we're in the same space as professionals. Like if you played
Yes.
football or any sport or chess or any hobby, there's very rare things that you can do where you're right there neck and neck with the pros. Like you're not going to play football against an NFL player if you're
Right.
a hobbyist. You're going to play it with people in the community that just want to go out and play. With trading, it's like we're in the same arena. These pros are taking our money. These algos are taking our money. So he kind of got me into this mindset where you can't just come in here mediocre. Like you have to become a master because you're with masters. You're amongst masters. So his book really puts you in that mindset where it's like this is not something you're going to be good at if you're just here for fun or if you're just here casually.
Mm,
So the name of the book is Tools and Tactics for the Master Day Trader, not just the day trader. A lot of day trading books give great information, but they don't really hone in on the fact that you need to become a master. Like you
mm,
actually really do need to become an expert in your strategy and an expert in all things that encompass your way that you make money in the market. Because if you're not, you're gonna get got. So that was that in the book. Other books that I like that just have nothing to do with trading. There's a book called Psycho Cybernetics, which is all
mm,
mentalism. And I'm really big into mentalism, meditation, the power of the mind, that type of stuff. So I feel like those books together, if you can get a hold of books from different um, categories of self-help and self-development and pair that with day trading books, you
Hmm.
be like on your way for real.
So
Yeah.
so like I know that you're a trader that understands the importance of journaling your trades
Hmm.
because that's very important through our journey. Like, what insights have you gained from keeping a trading journal?
So from the journaling, I think you get a closer look at your losses more so than your wins, because that's where I really needed help with.
Mm,
And you eventually you notice a pattern why you're losing or when you're losing.
hmm
And that was definitely key for me. And another Oliver Velez thing is he always says, when you review your trades, don't even pay attention to the winners. Like the winners will happen over time. Do the autopsy report on the losers. So the journaling helps you showcase those losers. And for me, I noticed that I was losing on when I was mobile trading, almost always.
mm,
I noticed that was a losing game. Trying to trade from my phone or in the car while I'm waiting for my son doing stuff, or doing silly stuff like I'm in the kitchen washing dishes and I got my phone open and oh, I see a trade and let me take it. Those are almost always the losers. So my journaling helped me realize that that was some silly stuff that I was doing.
hmm
And I developed again in my trading plan is there's a no mobile trading rule now on my trading plan. So little things like that, I think the journaling has helped. It helped me realize that after hours trading is not good for me right now. Maybe it will be soon, but
hmm
it definitely showcased that a lot of those losers were happening at nighttime when I was working, because I work from home after hours at night.
mm,
So
okay.
those are the times when I take losers a lot. Anytime I'm multitasking or maybe about to go somewhere, like I said, I like to be done by 12. But if I have like, oh, I got to be somewhere at 10 a.m.,
hmm
let me try to trade before I leave the house. Loser. That's usually the times when I would take a loss. So those are the things I think journaling will help you with, showcasing your losers, helping you just see the patterns in your personality, your day-to-day behavior. Without the journaling, I would never know that stuff. So
Wow. So
yeah.
it's like you realize that your best trades come when you're fully locked in.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Definitely,
So
definitely.
I know earlier you were explaining that you're no stranger to paper trading. And I know
Mhm.
plenty of traders who stray away. They hate demo because they're like, it's just demo. I'm not making any money. you know? So like
Yeah.
how important is journaling your trades? And I mean not that, but what is your view on demo trading versus live trading when it comes to refining your strategy?
So I was the queen of paper trading. I paper traded for a long time, and it helped. It really helped me with the strategy, locking it in. Um, I felt like a superstar paper trading. But the trader's anxiety that I was dealing with in the real markets was not present in paper trading, which is why I was doing so well. So paper trading is amazing. It's definitely a must for the people just getting started, but there is that sticky area where you're
Mm,
not going to learn the mastery, like I was saying, without being in the real markets, because the emotions are such a big part of it and you don't get to experience that paper
mm,
trading. So
right.
that's where I do have a gripe with paper trading, because it definitely handicapped me for a period of time. And no, to no fault of its own, it just comes with the territory. But now that I am not paper trading, I am addressing the things that were holding me back more. I always think about it like a video game where you're kind of like playing, you guys play like Call of Duty and all this
Mhm.
stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm a sniper. But then, like, if you were in real war, would you be like that good at sniping? Would you be this expert, um, tactical marksman and all that? Like, that's all fine in video game territory, but if it were real life, the emotions and stuff would be totally different, and you don't get that from paper trading. You have to go in that live market to try some things at some point. So that's my thing with paper trading. It's just it's a give and take. You have to know when. But if you have a new strategy, some new indicators you want to test out, it still serves its purpose. So
Right, right. Because
mhm.
it's a lot different when the shit get real.
Exactly.
For real.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
so like tell me about your broader industry insights. Like, what are your thoughts on the current state of the market? Where do you see trading opportunities today?
Um, hmm. Well, now I think it's the best time ever to start day trading. We are
Mm,
very fortunate. We have so many options, especially when you meet like older traders or the seasoned traders that
mhm.
have been around. You hear them talk about what it used to be like,
Right.
and they talk about like market tuition. Like you had to lose money really to learn. They didn't have paper trading environments
Mhm.
where they had trickier methods of placing orders, commissions, higher commissions. But the market now is so like inviting and easier access for us. So I think now's the best time. We have prop firms that are some of them not so good, but some of them fantastic to really make a career out of it. Like we got the one that's coming out here now soon, um, and they're just going to propel people into professionalism. I think you can become a career trader with the right tools and setup. So I think the market right now is really going to provide opportunity for the right people, the people who are disciplined and really here to make something of uh of this as more than just like a casino.
Right.
And as far as like where the opportunities go, I think that the broader market, like because I follow ES and the SPY, the economy and things like that, there's going to be a lot of opportunity because things are growing, technology is growing. So we're fortunate. We have a lot of options right now. And
Indeed. Indeed.
yeah.
And being that we
Hmm.
just got past that election, we're
Hmm.
we're, we're gonna have at least another year or two of volatility in the market.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even with the
Yeah.
good and the bad, it sounds horrible to say, but even if there's bad things going on, like interest rates go back up, or
Right.
God
Right.
forbid we get in wars and all that. With every tick of the world's day to day, a trader can find opportunity in the good and the bad.
Right.
It does require like paying attention, being present in to what's going on. And I never was before, actually. Thanks to trading, I am now. But yeah, you're able to see like there's always going to be something going on.
Something
There's
that
always
moves the
going to be
market.
right, yeah. So yeah.
So, like, how has trading evolved over the years, and how do you see it changing in the next decade? I know that's kind of a tough question for you being new
Hmm.
to the space, but based on what you've seen, how do you see that it's evolved over the years and see it changing?
So yeah, I'm still super new, so I'm trying to think how to answer that. But just in the time I've been in the market, I have definitely seen an improvement in I keep mentioning prop firms because it's what I know now, but
Right,
I've
right,
seen an improvement in that space where they are, um, like I said, providing opportunities for traders to make careers out of what they're doing. And I think that one of the big things about that is having accreditation, or not accreditation more so, but just like a more vetted system for
mhm,
them. And when I see certain prop firms that are going away and the ones that are sticking around, you could really see that these people are going to change the game. Like you're going to be able to maybe legitimately quit your job and trade for these prop firms as opposed to just having fun, being a gambler, like a lot of people tend to be in the market.
right,
So just in like 2 years or so, I've seen the evolution of those come about. And I've also seen like a change in software. I don't know if maybe this stuff's been out this whole time and I just didn't know about it, but I'm just always learning about some new stuff. Like I just learned about what was it the other day? Sierra charts and
Oh yeah,
stuff that I'm just discovering it. So there's a possibility they have not been out or they are not new, but it's new to me. So I'm seeing like more advanced ways to chart and get data. And the fact that like retail traders have access to this stuff, I think is amazing. I don't know if people have ever known that that's a possibility. I always thought you needed to be like on Wall Street, have
Right,
a suit
right.
and tie, and this is only for the elite. But apparently it's not. So I'm seeing a lot of that stuff now. My eyes are opening.
Man, I was definitely there, and like you start learning when you get into the point to where you start learning about the more advanced charting systems like Sierra charts, Motive Wave,
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Trader.
Mm-hmm.
These they give you the opportunity to see much more data in making a more informed decision in your trading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
What
It's
are
crazy.
what are some common misconceptions about day trading that you think should be cleared up?
Well, definitely, and I mentioned the gambling part. A lot of people just assume you're a gambler. You're in here making wild choices, not really making strategic moves or analytical decisions. You're just shooting at the hip, which, of course, you have the people that are out there
Right.
casinoing up the market, but you do have the misconception that that's what's going on. Um, the misconception that it's for the Wall Street likings, the suit and tie
Hmm.
wearers. That's all true, but I think a lot of people don't realize that you could become a day trader and still be like a mother or a father or have a part-time job and trade part-time. So those are all the misconceptions that I know I get from a
Right.
day-to-day basis. Just then, I'm a woman, so it's a male-dominated thing. I don't think there's as many of us in the space. So the misconception that maybe there may not be a lot of women, and that's partially true. But I can tell you, I know a lot more now. Meeting in the Discord, so we're definitely out there. The cool thing about trading is like you can do it while you're still a part of fatherhood or motherhood or anything like
Hmm.
that. It is possible to squeeze it into a corner of your life if you can make that time for it. So that's my thing with it.
Hmm. So let's talk about advice for new traders. What advice would you give someone just starting their day trading journey?
So I would say, mm, definitely find a community. Find a
Hmm.
community that can be your support for when you're going through the ups and downs of trading. I think you do have to be a self teacher in a
Hmm.
sense. There is no hand holding in trading, so you're going to have to 1000% learn to digest information on your own, teach yourself,
Mm.
get the ball rolling on new strategies on your own. You can, but you also can't just go copy someone's strategy because sometimes they've developed the strategy for them. Like I was saying with scalping earlier, I could show someone to scalp, but it would be doing them a disservice. I think you have to discover what works for you
Right.
more so than just copy what someone else is doing. And I think that when you're learning to trade, you also need to just be prepared to self-reflect and expose yourself, like learn about yourself, what your triggers are, what makes you tick. If you're feeling emotional about anything in your life, a trading's gonna bring that out to the surface for sure. So be prepared for all of that. You might be hit with stuff you never thought you were gonna get hit with emotionally when it comes to trading. That's the
Mm.
shocking thing about it. You don't expect that, but
Right.
it comes. It definitely comes.
So tell me, if you
Hmm.
could go back in time, what would you
Hmm.
tell yourself when you first started trading?
Get ready to level up mentally. That would be my 100% advice. If I saw myself 2.5 years ago, I would grab myself and say, listen, it's going to require a mental shift like never before. And I've done a lot in my background that required that mental level up. And I'm still shocked at how close it is to a lot of the stuff I've done. I've been in law enforcement and been in crazy crazy job stuff. And some of that stuff requires like you need to level up mentally and prepare for extreme situations. And it's crazy to say that trading requires that same level of like mental preparedness.
Mm,
And I, even with that background, I still wasn't prepared to do that in trading. So I would tell myself, get ready for that because you're not going to make it to that level of mastery without the mental side of it. So I'm actually really passionate about the mental side of trading. And I would hope that one of these days I could kind of dive into that more and help people tackle that. Because even like profitable traders, I think, are still not locked in mentally the
mm,
way they could be. They could probably be even more profitable if they locked in mentally better. So that's my
mm.
kind of thing I would tell myself.
So, what's one mistake that you see new traders making over and over again?
Let me see. I think that when I was new and all new traders want to get the Lambo quick, they want to rush.
Want to be rich
Hence,
tomorrow?
want to be rich right away. That's why you go right to the NQ, thinking
Yep.
that you can handle it. Because what feels better than just like getting in and out of a trade and walking away with $500 and
Mm,
you know 2-3 minutes and you're done. So they want to rush. They want to avoid that mastery thing like we were talking about. They want to just kind of just do it just to do it, not realizing that you're in the same arena as pros. So you're trying to avoid this level of mastery that's required. They're not putting in that chart time, not doing replays, not even doing anything on the weekend. So I think they're just not they're not taking it as serious as it probably needs to be taken when you're new. And that might just because you're just not aware of how difficult it's about to become.
mm, right,
And then when that luck wears out, which it does, it exposes the fact that you need to do these things.
right,
Not
right.
having your trading plan, things like that. So yeah.
And man, that weekend work, man. When you mentioned that weekend work, it's the work that you do outside of the markets. It really makes a difference inside of the market.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
So,
That's
like,
when you know you love it.
right, right, indeed, because
Mhm.
you have to be passionate about it, man. You have to.
Mhm. Right,
So
yep.
this section here, we call this rapid fire questions or sniper questions. Just answer
Okay,
answer off the top of your head.
okay,
First answer that comes to mind.
okay.
What is your go to trading platform?
Trading view,
Coffee or energy drinks?
coffee,
What is the most underrated skill in trading?
mentalism, hands down. Yeah.
Favorite book on trading?
Tools and Tactics for the Master Day Trader, one I was talking about earlier by Oliver Velez.
Do you trade with music or in silence?
Music
Man, best
and the
stress
news.
reliever. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a
best
nerd. I like the news.
best stress reliever after a rough day.
I like music,
Mm,
music for sure. Hmm.
indeed, indeed. Man, Chocolate Bear, I appreciate you for coming on, man. This was a great conversation. Man,
No
I
problem.
love hearing from other traders who are passionate about the space, especially when you're new and I tell you, you are on the right track. Your mental is there. Your mind is there. You're going to go far. I
I
can already see
appreciate
it.
it.
For
Thank you
sure.
so much. It was very nice to just talk to you. And like I said, I sometimes feel like I'm too new and I have nothing to offer really.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
I'm like, well, what am I going to talk about? But I guess it's just fun to really get your experience out and share
Right.
the journey with everybody. And that's crazy how similar all our journeys are. So
And this
I
and
love
this will
it.
be a
Mhm.
bookmark for a moment in your journey. You'll look back at this after you've advanced way further, and you'll be like, "Wow,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Can't wait. Can't wait.
man." So, guys,
So,
I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for tuning to No FOMO Podcast, where we discuss keeping it cool and adapting in today's ever-changing markets. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit like and subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the future drops. We got plenty more insights coming your way. Until next time, stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember, when it comes to trading, it's best to have no FOMO. Y'all be cool. Catch you on the next one.